But you know, you get like that. I like hops.
Do you have any of that left? 19 ounces?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you try some. So we're gonna get up to the boiling stage here quite quickly. This is kind of when you want to pay attention. When you want to be around the brew pot, you don't want to boil over. You don't want to passion feed. You don't want everything to come up and all over the ground. So you want to be really close to the brew pot, watching it. As soon as it starts to get to a nice bouncing, rolling boil, that's when we'll do our full hour boil. And then the brew process will go into the cooling stages, and that'll take anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, I prefer to do this.
To break down the two types of beers that are out there, there's ales and there's lagers. An ale is a top fermenting beer that creates its alcohol at a temperature of 70 to 75 degrees. It eats all the sugar from the very top. You drop this yeast in, it goes where it needs to go, it'll float at the top, it'll create all its alcohol from the very top, and it'll ferment and create its alcohol in a condition of about 75 degrees. Now, to where lagers are, ales tend to be a lot more chewy. Those are going to be your IPAs and your red ales and your stouts and your brown ales. They're going to be really chewy. It's going to be like a meal. You're going to get like 7 or 8 different flavors out of one beer. Like I said, it's a chewy beer. To where your typical lagers are your bottom fermenting beers, and the terminology of lagering is it sits in a cold temperature of about 40 to 45 degrees to kill off flavor to make it really sessionable, and it creates its alcohol from the very bottom. So your typical lagers like Miller Lite, Bud Light, and Sam Adams and Yingling and things like that are sessionable, so it doesn't fill you up. You can drink many of them. You can drink multiple ones of them, and it doesn't have that much flavor. It has flavor, but it's not like an ale to where it's chewy. So there's the differences between ales and lagers, and there's tons of subcategories that fall beneath the two. But you just need to know, okay, well, if I'm going to do lagers, it needs to sit in cold conditions, so I need to have a little refrigerator to ferment my beer in. If you're going to mainly do ales, which I recommend to everybody, you can get light ales that are light and refreshing and sessionable too, to do an ale, because you can sit it at 70 to 75 degrees for a period of
If you go more than 75, it's going to be a problem. Like getting all flavors or just not perfect?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you want to stay close to. Some beers will have a fruitiness to them, but if you start fermenting at like 80, 85 degrees, it's going to create fruity esters to the beer. And some ales are supposed to have that in, but other ales are not. You know, if you're doing like a big stout, a big black stout that's 8-9%, it's not supposed to have like a cherry flavor running through it. This is a fruity flavor running through it.
It could be nice though.
It could be nice, absolutely. And like I said, a lot of those ales are supposed to have fruity esters. Others are not. By style guidebook. It doesn't mean anything though. If you're a home brewer, you're creating your own thing. If you want a little fruit flavor in your stout, go for it. If you don't, then you know what to do and you know where to keep it at.
Is there like a point where the yeast is more ferment?
And too hot, you don't want it too hot, but typically yeast can start dying at about 90 degrees. But you don't ever want your beer to get up that hot.
If my house is that warm, there's a problem. If my house is that warm, there's a problem.
What the trick one of these guys told me that works amazing is you put your fermenter in like a tub. You put a couple inches of water in, and you wrap a towel around it.
Yeah, someone told me that online. They said they called it a swamp pool.
It works perfectly.
Someone else told me that. Someone else actually sent me a link where they took a big igloo cooler, like the dome lid on it, and they cut a hole through the lid just so you have to have a cardboard.
There is this detergent that you use to wash your dishes. There's a cleanser called Be Right, which is what I would recommend everybody to use for a cleanser, which is this white powdered substance right in here. This is a homebrew chemical cleaner to clean down all your equipment with. Your spoons, your paddles, your fermenter, anything that you're going to use for brewing should always be cleansed down with Be Right, and then rinsed out really well. Just kind of a soapy substance to clean everything out. It needs to be rinsed real well.
How long is that the soap for?
You could just use a soft brush or a soft cloth. Just get in there.
So just
all you need is about maybe 2 teaspoons.
That's it.
And a gallon. and then just kind of mix it all in there, clean down the sides, rinse it out, and all your equipment, just drop all your equipment in there, kind of soak it.
Same for like your carboys and fermenters.
Right, carboys are huge because that's right. You know, cleaning and sanitizing is a big portion of it, but what you really need to worry about is cleaning and sanitizing as it's cooling. Right now, everything's going to be boiled, so we're okay. No bacteria can live at 212 degrees, so right now we're okay. We're at boiling now, which is perfect. So we're going to go ahead and add in our first addition of hops. Again, this is our bittering hops.
Do you add those into like a bag or just strain them out later?
No, I strain them out later. I just like to throw them in there and get full efficacy, so to speak. And again, this is just kind of when you want to be around the brew pot because you don't want nothing crazy to happen. And anybody have time on it?
It's about 10:40, 10:40.
10:40. So at 11:40 is our stop time. And from here, you don't need to stir it. You don't need to do anything. It just does its job. It's bouncing around there. You can come around and smell it. It's got an awesome smell.
Are Centennials the ones they use in Bell's Two Hearted?
Yeah, they use Centennial and Bell's Two Hearted. So the cleaning and sanitizing portion again. So you're gonna clean with a cleanser called B-Bright or C-Bright, whatever you prefer. I just like B-Bright a little bit better. So you clean it down, you rinse it out really, really well. And this is BTF iodophor. This is a no-rinse sanitizer. So what you do is you're brewing is you fill up a big bucket over here. 1 to 2 capfuls per 5 gallons will make like a light tea color. And as you're brewing, you can dip all your instruments in here and you can pull it right out. You don't even have to rinse it off. You can go right into the batch with it. Doesn't affect the beer one bit. It saves you one whole step. It's used in hospitals and restaurants. So you cleanse, rinse, sanitize, no rinse. Easy process. I like to do everything before I start, and I like to do everything when I end. That way I'm never stuck in between going, did I clean and sanitize this? Because if you forget one time, your beer is going to catch a bacterial infection, and there's no home brewer that can fix a bacterial infection in your batch. You can fix it from being too dry or too bitter or too sweet. You can do all sorts of things to fix a homemade beer, but you can't fix a bacterial infection.
Oh, there's name unless you're going for a lambic.
Right. Well, I mean, some people will drink it still.
Yeah.
Who knows? But you can't fix a bacterial infection that's in the batch. So cleaning and sanitizing is the